But some people still had questions, and one of them was Alina Chan. She's a molecular biologist at the Broad Institute at Harvard and MIT. Chan noticed something odd about the coronavirus. Its genome hadn't changed much over time, even though the virus, had undergone trillions of replications. That's strange. Normally, viruses that jump from animals to humans have to adapt quickly to their human hosts. That's what the last SARS virus did in 2003. Early-stage SARS viruses looked very different from SARS viruses later in the pandemic. But this coronavirus wasn't behaving that way. In fact, it seemed like it was custom-built for human transmission. When Chan published a paper on her findings, Peter Daszak attacked her to any reporter who would listen. Daszak called Chan's conclusions preposterous and a, quote, conspiracy theory. Most media organizations followed suit, and the story went away. And that's exactly, of course, what happened to a Chinese virologist, Dr. Li-Men Yang, whom we've spoken to on this show. Yang was working in Wuhan in the early days of the pandemic, but the American media dismissed her as a nut, as a conspiracy theorist. There's nothing to see here. Go away, crazy Chinese lady. But going forward, it may be much more difficult to dismiss this story. On Sunday, the former director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Robert Redfield, told CNN that based on everything he knows, he too believes the coronavirus likely came from the lab in Wuhan. What do you believe nonpartisan national security officials believe about the origin of the coronavirus?
Well, it's clear that it was not something that happened naturally. So it's clear that there's more evidence that it came from a lab than it somehow jumped from an animal, a bat, to a human. The Wuhan Institute of Virology denied that it was engaged in secret work with the PLA, the People's Liberation Army. China has a massive biological weapons program that is being carried out in these laboratories in China, and nothing is being done to force them to expose the activities there, including such things as ethnic weapons, that is, biological weapons that can target ethnic groups. And I think that it's starting to be realized, other scientists like Dr. Redfield, like others in France, they're coming out and saying, wait a minute, the emperor has no clothes. This is a Chinese strategic deception operation, and we've got to get to the bottom of this, or we're going to be fighting pandemics for the next 50 years.